As far as Adwoa Safo is concerned, I think she appears to be very hurt. And she had said a lot of things very powerfully. The thing that got to me the most was the alleged remarks about her father's education and standing. I hope those are not true, but if they are true...
Makokwe Jr. has denied them.
Yes. So if he has denied them, then I'll just leave it at that. But it goes to the fact that when we are having primaries, those primaries ought to be monitored and they ought to be conducted in a way that will make it easy to put the party back together. You know, we have primaries in which people get beaten and they get damaged, and the candidates concerned, nothing happens to them. But having said all that, I want to respectfully appeal to Honorable Adwoa Safo to stand down and tone down. I understand her to speak, but I respectfully ask her to stand down and tone down. I think a political party is like a marriage or a relationship. It is the biggest volunteer thing we do, and we do it out of love. So I urge all people in the MPP, while they are expressing their opinions, to do that with the knowledge that in the end, we have to come together and to win elections. We cannot compel obedience. The people who went to elect John Mahama, they said he got 25% of his votes from MPP people. And they were being patriotic Ghanaians. And hopefully in future, we will also win with some NDC votes. And I look forward to working with the NDC people who will vote for a future presidential candidate of our party. So while we are doing all these discussions, the goal is to rebuild the MPP stronger so that it will become once again the party of Dubois and Darocha and John Ajekum Kufuor, which can go forward in elections. But while we are doing this, there is also the work of being a constructive opposition so that we can call the government out for the things it is properly and offer alternatives. Every Ghanaian is interested in having a viable MPP, and to have that, the work of being a constructive opposition must continue. I, for example, heard Kojo Opon Nkrumah in Parliament last week on the budget, and he was excellent. So we need to be able to, as they say, run and eat our yokagare at the same time. We should rebuild and also be a constructive opposition. And I ask all of us to do this with respect, but issuing edicts is not the way to go.
You say the Constitution, you know, in Chapter 5 allows for freedom of expression, and she was exercising a constitutional, you know, right, and the Constitution trumps the party's constitution, except the party's constitution to conform with the constitution of the country. But she has subscribed to the party's constitution. The party's constitution is against anti-party conduct that, as it were, brings the party into disrepute. And there are many significant people in the NPP who have suffered disciplinary action because of similar conduct. Why should she be treated differently?
Actually, I am not asking that she should be treated differently. I think that the problem with the MPP is that we apply these ethics selectively, you know, and this has happened for some time. For example, during Kufuor's time, somebody who was on suspension, Haruna Iseku, was actually restored and moved straight into the national chairmanship of the party because powerful people decided that his suspension was unnecessary. The same thing happened in 2008. You know, even though I know of at least 10 MPP members in good standing who were denied the right to be parliamentary candidates because, quote unquote, they had not nurtured the party enough. And then we went ahead and picked a non-party member to be running mate. I am just saying that we cannot say that these are our rules and then ignore them when the powerful want them ignored. And the same thing happened. Nana Akufo-Addo said in 2008 that those who had gone independent, if I win, I'll never have anything to do with them. I won't talk to them. The day after the first round, he was calling them because we needed their help. Some of them went on to be leaders. Even in divided parliament, some of them, contrary to the party's rules, became leaders. I'm just saying that the party ought to be consistent and fair in the application of rules. And this particular edit of Gagan Adwoa Safo, even before coming to that, a lot of people have vented, including the General Secretary. He was all over the news talking about how the president won't listen to advice, this person won't do this, or say Chairman Sabons was on air talking about the problems. You know, I was on air talking about the problems. Why is it that all of a sudden Adwoa Safo talks? Is it because she's a woman? Is it because she's attacking particular people? And I disagree with most of what she's saying, but I'm just saying that we build a party with love. It have been okay for the General Secretary or somebody to go and see her, to ask her to tone down. All those things are to numbers.
Okay.
We do run people out of parties to build it.
All right. Thank you very much.